It is Tuesday, which of course means it is time for me to answer the questions that you guys send in every single week on the YouTube comment section or over at the forums, BrendenPlayz.com/forums. Look, it's been a pretty big week in terms of wrestling. We had Monday Night Raw, we're coming off that, and not only that, we had the huge Wrestle Kingdom 9 pay-per-view. We saw the return of Jim Ross to commentary. He was joined alongside by Matt Striker. I had a chance to watch probably 2-3 hours of the show, and to sum it up, this show was really, really good. It was very well put together. JR was amazing on commentary. Striker worked really well with him as well. I thought this show was just a kind of a bit of breath of fresh air. I mean, it's not my style of show. I don't really like pure wrestling. This show is definitely for the wrestling purists. There's really no promos. There is some storylines, but obviously if you don't really follow the product, you're not going to really get it anyways. But Americanizing New Japan is probably a really good move, and I think it's something that needs to be done. And it's a reason why I never really watched the product, is because it is in Japanese and Japanese commentary, and I can't tell what's going on. I don't know who's who unless I get, or you know, what move's going on or whatever, without commentary. So bringing in English-speaking commentary was a really, really good move, and Global Force Wrestling put that together. So I had a chance to watch a few hours of it. I will admit, I did get a little bit bored of it towards the end. Like I said, it's not really my style of show, but definitely if you're a wrestling purist, this show is for you. Really, really good show, in my opinion. I felt the matches are very, very fun and really just good. I think the main events are really good as well, and I have not heard one single negative thing about it, so definitely go check it out. I highly recommend it. But alright, so without further ado, I'll quit blammering on and we'll get into today's questions. The first question comes from the man that probably should be in the Let's Talk Tuesdays Hall of Fame, Bailey14. What do you make of Rollins getting in the championship match? Well, I was probably one of those guys that were clamoring on and saying, please, we don't want to see Lesnar versus Cena again. Now, I've read a few things online, and I was actually kind of shocked and surprised to see people reacting negative towards this decision. In my opinion, there's really absolutely nothing you can complain about. I would say majority of the fans did not want to see Cena versus Lesnar again. If you did, okay, well, in my opinion, I didn't want to see it again. So, adding Rollins into this match, you still get Cena and Lesnar, you still have that rivalry, you still have that storyline, but you got to remember, Rollins has kind of been in and around and feuding with Cena for quite some time, and he's even had his run-ins with Lesnar a little bit, and it kind of makes sense. So, adding Rollins in isn't like something out of the absolute blue. I mean, Rollins has been in and around this feud and this storyline throughout the past number of months, so it makes sense. So adding Rollins into this match, in my opinion, just gives it another dynamic, just gives it something new and something fresh as well. And we know Rollins is a hell of a worker, so he can definitely put on a great matchup, and he can kind of quicken the pace of this match, and you know, I think he'll work quite well with Cena. So it'll be very interesting to see, though, will we see Rollins and Lesnar team up? Or will Rollins just go out for business on his own? Because we do know that Heyman and Rollins have some kind of alliance going on, so that's going to be very interesting to see how they play off on that. Will that kind of be sorted out, or will that be broken, or some sorts leading into the pay-per-view? Perhaps. But who do I see winning it now? I mean, I was always going to see Lesnar was going to win, but I still think Lesnar is going to win. But what I could see happening is that perhaps we see Brock Lesnar pin John Cena. Now, hear me out. Brock Lesnar pins John Cena. Lesnar's celebrating. So Rollins, he's outside the ring. He's not involved in it. He sees that he loses the match, and he freaks out, and he just beats the crap out of Lesnar. Maybe he has J&J security in there helping out. 3-1 attack. Lesnar's down. You know, Rollins gets chairs. He uses the briefcase. Uses whatever he can to get Lesnar down and out. He's still Mr. Money in the Bank. Cashes in Money in the Bank. Could be the new champion. Now, that could be a scenario. Or perhaps Lesnar just wins. He pins Rollins clean and be done with it. Or, hell, Cena might win and then Rollins will cash in on Cena. Because obviously that would make more sense for a heel to cash in on a babyface rather than Rollins to cash in on Lesnar. But you never know. I mean, stranger things have happened, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm very interested to see how this all kind of plays out. I still think perhaps we'll see John Cena play off with the Authority sometime in the future. I mean, will he kind of work with Sting and try to take down Triple H or something like that? I don't know. So I have no idea what Cena's going to do at WrestleMania, but I don't want to see Seth Rollins with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, I tell you that. I don't want to see him anywhere near it. And I said it last week on the show. I said Rollins could cash in at Mania and cash in on Daniel Bryan. That will probably be the best scenario for him to cash in on Bryan. I mean, Bryan gets his big WrestleMania comeback, gets his big victory. Seth Rollins ruins it, gets big heel heat. Win-win. So I see that probably being a better scenario, but I feel as though WWE are ready to pull the trigger on Seth Rollins and get this cash in out of the way. So whether he wins the title or not remains to be seen, but that's just a scenario that I thought up in my head potentially what could happen. So overall, happy to see him in the match, but I still think Lesnar's going to walk out as a champion. I feel as though that would be the best move. Have Lesnar main event WrestleMania. He's the man right now. He's the biggest drawing card, in my opinion, that they can use. So he's got to be at WrestleMania, and he's got to be main eventing, and he's got to have the championship around his waist. The next question is from HBK for the win. Now that Bad News Barrett is the 5-time Intercontinental Champion, do you think he might beat Chris Jericho's record of 9 reigns? Okay, yep. Bad News Barrett is Intercontinental Champion. No surprise there. I always suspected him coming back and winning the title pretty much straight away. And that's exactly what happened. But the question I have is, where does this lead for Dolph Ziggler? I mean, him losing the title, it was a really fucking dumb way of doing it. I mean, these guys could have actually had a legitimate rivalry. You could have had Dolph Ziggler win by the roll-up, then have Bad News Barrett beat the shit out of him, and then lead that towards a pay-per-view matchup at Royal Rumble. I mean, that's what pay-per-views are for, right? I mean, to have title matches and big matches on the card. That way, you've already set up a good feud. You've already set up a good rivalry, a good foundation for a decent rivalry, and you lead towards this match at Royal Rumble. But really now, they're blowing their load. You had a 2 out of 3 falls match, which is a gimmick match. You had Bad News Barrett beat him up. You had Dolph Ziggler beat him once. And then you had Bad News Barrett pit him twice. So, I don't know. What else can you really do? You kind of had a full feud. You had a full rivalry in one night. in one match. So, really, I don't know. I mean, we probably might see a rematch, but will we see Dolph Ziggler win? I doubt it. So, I don't know. Is it a case of they're going to finally move Dolph Ziggler up into the main event? I hope so. I mean, dear God, he deserves it. But I still feel as though Dolph Ziggler, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to pull the trigger on him. I mean, it's very interesting to see what they're going to do with this firing angle, and I'm going to talk about that soon. But yeah, I really don't know. As for Barrett, I can never see him winning the world title. I know a lot of people think he should be world champion, deserves to be world champion. I never thought that he ever would. I don't ever see it happening. So I think the Intercontinental Championship will be, his baby. So 9 title reigns is very possible. I mean, he already has 5 now. I could see him getting a couple more at least. I mean, we've seen him get the title back, lose it and then get it back the next night. So shit like that can happen and, bump him up a few more reigns. So you never know. If he gets close to it, maybe they'll play off in it, and then who knows? We might even have Bad News Barrett versus Chris Jericho for the IC title again. Who knows? So you never know with the WWE, but I think he'll get close. He might beat it. Who knows? But I'd say the IC title is about as far as he's going to go. Next one from Bailey14 again. How long do you think we won't see Ryback, Ziggler, and Rowan for? Look, I would not be surprised at all if they are on SmackDown this week. Let's be real. This is the WWE we're talking about. This is the same company that had CM Punk walk out on the WWE only to be back. Oh, no, he was fired, wasn't he? I don't know. Whatever the fuck the angle was. He was gone and he came back 2 weeks later. So, Ziggler, Ryback, and Rowan. Forget about Rowan. Ryback and Ziggler are 2 of their top baby faces. You really think the show can last without these guys being on at all? I mean, Jesus Christ, the show's bad enough as it is. If you don't have Ryback on there and Ziggler, 2 of my favorites, what else is there to watch? I mean, we can only watch so much of Roman Reigns. I mean, we can only see so much of Ambrose. So after that, what else is there to really watch? So I don't know. I honestly see them on Raw next week. You know, let's be real. This whole firing angle, I don't see it lasting at all. So, in my opinion, expect to see them on Monday Night Raw next week. If not, freaking Friday Night SmackDown this week. This next question comes from Derek Reeves. Do you think Daniel Bryan should have waited to come out at the Rumble as a surprise entrant instead of announcing he was going to be there? It makes more sense to me. I don't know. I'm a little bit skeptical about this one. Obviously, you think about it. You have Daniel Bryan. He comes out the Royal Rumble. Just imagine the cheer. Huge. But I think most of us would have expected him to be there anyway. So would the surprise element really be there? I don't think so. I think probably 60-75% of the fans would already say, okay, Daniel Bryan's a big chance of being here tonight. I mean, he's been gone for so long. You know, there's been rumblings of him possibly coming back soon. I'd say he'd probably be at the Royal Rumble. So yeah, I think a lot of people already suspected him being there. So really, would it be a surprise? Not really. So you have him come back. You have him announce he's going to be at the Rumble. That way, you know, the fans know, okay, Bryan's going to be at the Rumble. That way, you also throw a spanner in the works as well. You have Bryan come out, you get his name in your mind, thinking, okay, we have Reigns, we have Ziggler, we have Ambrose, we have Bryan, all potential Rumble winners. What about a returning Randy Orton? Maybe Sheamus. You know, you have all these names, and by the way, I don't think Sheamus is going to win it, but we have all these names you kind of tossing around in your mind, so it just throws another spanner in the works. Plus, there's a lot of Daniel Bryan fans out there for whatever reason, and that way, you know, okay, Bryan's going to be at the Rumble. I have to tune in for Daniel Bryan to see him, because the fact is, the surprise element really isn't there anyway, so you might as well capitalize on any potential people buying or subscribing to the network to see Bryan at the Royal Rumble. Now, how much of an effect will that have? Probably not very much, to be honest with you, but I think they really fucked up last year announcing Batista's return for the Rumble. They should have just had him come out, but this is a different ball game in my opinion. I think Daniel Bryan makes more sense for him to come back and announce that he's going to be there earlier, in my opinion. This one is from Joe Meister. Who is your favorite member of the Ascension? Okay, look, I have given the Ascension a couple of weeks now, and I've made up my mind. They're done. The Ascension is done. This tag team is dreadful. They are a Road Warriors ripoff. The gimmick is awful. I mean, really, who thought of this gimmick? Anybody who knows wrestling would have thought, oh, wow, these guys look like the Road Warriors. They're acting like the Road Warriors. Why not at least give them some different freaking colors to red and black? Make them blue and black, blue and white. I don't care. How hard was it to give them some different colors? So, the outfits are terrible because, you know, you're just going to be instantly reminded these guys are rip-offs, these guys aren't original, whatever. So you already have a negative thought process in your mind about them. Plus, their promo on Raw, I mean, addressing basically the rumors or the talk that, hey, these guys are rip-offs. Yes, you pretty much told the world that we are rip-offs. We pretty much told everyone, okay, we know that we look like the Road Warriors and Demolition, but we're better than them. How? You know, you haven't proved shit. Plus, these guys, their gimmicks is that these are guys that fucking huge, man. They, you know, these are from the guys from the wasteland. They're here to kick your ass. They're so big. They're so tough. Yet, one guy looks out of shape. The other guy looks like he couldn't beat up anybody if he tried. They don't have the physical presence. These guys don't suit the roles they're trying to play. So, bad casting would be the word that you describe the situation. It's just two guys that don't suit the role. WWE should have just kept their NXT gimmick. I don't know why they went for this outlandish thing, what they're trying to do here. It's not working. I either see them, you know, dragging this out for as long as they can, keep trying, and they will just fall further and further, or somebody with a brain needs to go, okay, stop, reset, let's repackage them quickly, let's drop the Road Warriors like gimmick, and let's just go back to what we were going with. Let's give them black, let's make them dark, let's go with that, forget about the face paint, because right now I just see them not working at all. I honestly see them being jobbers in the next month if they don't sort something out ASAP, because they get no reaction at all. I think they're almost borderline embarrassing and cringeworthy to watch. Couple of quick ones before we finish off. This one's from Tasteful Chain 4. What guest GM did the best job in your opinion? I would probably say Chris Jericho. I really enjoyed it when he was on Raw. Plus, Edge and Christian were pretty funny as well. I always think they're a ball of fun. But yeah, as much as I don't like the Authority coming back and being in power, I still feel as though it's better than having these guest GMs every single week, because I think that I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of the guest GM thing and the celebrity guest coming in. You get some really bad hosts some weeks, and it's just cringeworthy. It's horrible to watch. I think I'd rather sit through a 20-minute Triple H promo to open up every Raw than, you know, sit through a really shitty celebrity guest once every couple of weeks. So I'm happy with the Authority back for that reason. You know, probably the only reason that I'd be happy for them to be back. Next one's from WWE 234. Because of Fastlane, do you think the Elimination Chamber match can happen at any other pay-per-view? Possibly, but I still feel as though Fastlane might be the home of the Chamber. Even though it's a name change, I still feel as though it's a potential candidate to be an Elimination Chamber match on the show. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they just drop the Chamber gimmick and they don't use it until there is a storyline that warrants it. And with the way WWE books a storyline nowadays, there probably will never be a storyline that truly warrants it. But maybe give the match a rest for a couple of years to kind of make it a little bit more prestigious and, you know, mean a little bit more when you do bring it back. Same thing should happen with Hell in a Cell, in my opinion. Today's last question is from Robin Effer. Do you think WWE is getting better? No, I think WWE is getting worse. Even compared WWE now to this time last year, I was enjoying WWE a lot more this time last year, and I thought 2014 could have been an epic year. It started off really well, it had a lot of promising elements, and then they just really just blew it. As soon as WrestleMania 30 finished, the show just went downhill from there. I guess some bad injuries really happened lately, and that's really been the cause of a lot of bad storylines and, you know, bad shitty feuds, because, you know, the wrestlers that we probably see in those spots aren't there, and the talent really isn't there, and you can really see the roster struggling. So for whatever reasons, the WWE struggling right now. Hopefully picks up soon, but it's certainly not very good at the moment. It's not getting better. In fact, I think it's getting worse. It might start picking up soon for Road to WrestleMania, as it naturally normally does, but certainly in the past 3-4 months, it's been very hard to watch. And that will do it for today's edition of Let's Talk Tuesdays. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like in the video. Make sure you do comment about every single thing that I talked about. Well, not everything, but whatever you want to talk about that I discussed in today's video. Make sure you let me know your thoughts and opinions on all the topics that I discussed today. And also, leave your own questions for next week in the comment section down below, or over at the forums at BrendenPlayz.com/forums. We'd love to see you on the forums. Make sure you sign up if you haven't already. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this week's edition. And make sure you do subscribe to see more Let's Talk Tuesdays coming up real soon. Thanks, guys.